Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that still think that a deposit made to the bank belongs to you, think again. A deposit made to a bank is effectually a loan that you are making to that bank, and that bank can refuse to give you back your deposit for whatever reason they want. Man loses $80,000 life savings after bank transfer. Morristown, New Jersey. Imagine a scenario where you lost your job to the health crisis and then in a matter of seconds lost every nickel of your life saving. A 24-year-old faced with this nightmare scenario reached out to 7 on your side, to the news agency, ladies and gentlemen. And if you read this article, or we'll get to it, you'll realize that the only reason this gentleman got his money back is because he went to a news agency. I felt like I lost my life savings and it was very frustrating. First, he lost his job, then all his money, $80,000 in total. The money was set aside for his education and got frozen during what Alexander believed was a routine bank transfer. There was promoting going on with Citibank that if you open an account with a certain amount of money, I get $700. So I was just trying to get that extra bonus, he said. So he went ahead and transferred $50,000 from his online Chime account just before Christmas, then got Scrooged. The next day, both accounts were frozen, and Chime says my funds were not eligible for refund. As to why both accounts were frozen, I still have no idea. This just goes to show you, ladies and gentlemen, that you have no real control over the money that you keep at the bank. It is up to them whether they want to push the button or not that allows you to take your money out or tell you that you can't take your money out, even if you're not committing any nefarious actions. Chime wanted Alexander to provide unemployment verification, but Citibank didn't ask for any documentation and wouldn't disclose why all of his money was frozen. Every time I contacted them, they haven't given me a reason, he said. They said that it was out of their scope and he had to go to the branch in order to get a reason. So they gave me a phone number to call. With rent bills due, Alexander was at a loss. The 24-year-old's job disappeared when the establishment where he worked closed because of this health crisis. He's been moonlighting as a personal trainer and re-enrolled in college, so was desperate to unlock his tuition money. He goes on to say that he needed the money so that he can buy some gifts for Christmas, and he couldn't even get money to buy food. His girlfriend pretty much took care of him until he decided to call the news agency, which in turn went ahead and investigated the situation. Just 48 hours after he called, the big chill on Alexander's account was thawed, meaning that they opened his account 48 hours after they called to investigate. Alexander says, "I was definitely relieved. I felt happy and thankful, and I really appreciated it. Citibank sent a check for $50,000 and Chime unlocked $30,000. If it wasn't for the news agency that he went to investigate, he wouldn't have been able to get his money back." So ladies and gentlemen, answer these questions to yourself. You don't have to answer it to me. Do you really think that the money in the bank is yours? Imagine if you had to get to your money in a really big hurry for whatever reason, and the reason shouldn't really matter, but imagine if you had to get to your money in a big hurry and something like this happened to you. That is why I'm a big advocate of making sure that you keep some dry powder or extra cash out of the banking system and readily available for you to use in case of an emergency. Now, I wanted to go ahead and read this to you really quick before we sign off for the day. I'll go ahead and leave the link to this site as well so you can come and take a look at it. But pretty much the question is being asked, are deposits really deposits? Do they really belong to you? Let me go ahead and read this. It's really quick. The legal reality is banks don't take deposits and banks don't lend money. So what is a deposit? A deposit is not actually a deposit. It's not a bailment and it is not held in custody. At law, the word deposit is meaningless. The law courts and various judgments have made it very clear. If you give your money to a bank, even though it's called a deposit, this money is simply a loan to the bank. So there is no such thing as a deposit. It's a loan to the bank. So banks borrow from the public. So that much we've established. What about lending? Surely they're lending money. No, they're not. Banks don't lend money. Banks, again, at law, it's very clear. They're in the business of purchasing securities. That's it. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The money that you put in the bank, they can use to purchase securities. While when you go and borrow money from a bank, the bank creates that money out of thin air. And the most important thing to take away from this is that the money that you deposit in the bank is not legally considered a deposit. It is considered a loan to the bank that, in my opinion, the bank just uses to gamble with. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, I know this was a quick video, but I wanted to get this out to you. I hope you got something out of it, and I hope that you have a good day at that. Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. This is Alaska Prepper. I am out.